one thing that is black and white, though, unfortunately, I didn't want to put this here, but I feel I had to, is that the Penrith Panthers absolutely battered, humbled, destroyed, chicaned, shellacked the Sharks in the Shire to the tune of 42 points to nil. I want to ask you as an outsider before I give my thoughts and get the swear button ready, boys. Are Penrith that good? Are Cronulla that bad? Or is it just one of those nights?
I think it was one of those nights for Cronulla. I don't think Cronulla are that bad. I've written a few things about them in the last couple of weeks. The wins against Melbourne, particularly about Nico, and the win in Brisbane against the Roosters. I was really impressed with the Cronulla Sharks on that occasion. I've been their biggest doubter. I thought their draw was easy. I thought they were a forward short. I felt Nico was a one-man team, etc., etc. But then they go to Melbourne and beat Melbourne without Nico. I can't really say that anymore, right? But I do think it was the reality check Cronulla needed because they beat the Roosters 38-30 and there were cracks in that game defensively. You look at it and you go, well, you've conceded, you've won and you've beaten a good team and all the rest of it and you've scored a lot of points, but defensively there was an issue, right? You've let in 30 points. Then to come out and lose by 42 to Penrith, you turn around and go, okay, so they're the issues. We can go work on them now at least, and Craig Fitzgibbon can sit down with his team and go, that's not good enough. Here's what's got to be worked on so that we can get back to what we were doing against Melbourne, which, again, that was a really, really good win and makes you sit up and go, this Cronulla team are actually the real deal. I still think, full disclosure, I still think they're a prop short of being a premiership contender this year, but I think it's a really good building blocks year for Cronulla moving towards next year once they get Adam Fanua-Blake in the system. Going back to Penrith, though, Jerome Luai was good, wasn't he? If they can do that without Nathan Cleary on the park, no one's stopping them this year. Let's be real. Who's stopping them from winning 4 straight?
Well, Penrith are the only team that can stop themselves from winning 4 straight.
Yeah.
I was there. Pre-game, all I heard was that the Sharks were going to do them. The Sharks had the best players. The Sharks were in better form. No Cleary, blah, blah, blah. And I turned to my son and I said, we're going to cop 40 here. And he goes, Dad, we're leading the comp. And I just said, no, the attitude's wrong. And I said, the players listen, and it happened in the Tigers. Now, that is a defence mechanism as a Shark because we've been hurt before. We played well and then got bombed out in straight sets a couple of years ago when we probably had an easy run to a grand final. You beat the Cowboys at home, which we should have done. You play a beaten up Parramatta side. You're going, okay, you're going to lose that game, so what? But we should have made that grand final. It's happened 2018, we fell apart. These years we've won minor premierships and lost to your lot. And then, so, it's ingrained in Cronulla. And as a fan, I probably was projecting that a little bit. But the Cronulla system is built almost identically to the Penrith system. It's built on the back five doing all the work out of their own edge. It's kicking early. It's pinning them in their corners. It's running the ball. And it's forcing an error and capitalising. Penrith just do it 5 times better than us. Now, before the game, all we heard was that Nico was 50-50 and that he needed to play Origin, which to me said he's not ready. He's only out there to get his jersey. And look, selfishly, I wouldn't have picked him the other night, but Craig Fitzgibbon probably feels he owes it to Nico Hines. I get it. I'm not having to go at anyone. It was what it was. But Nico was not 100%. You can't convince me he was 50% because he went out there and he played like crap. Sione Katoa in the pre-game looked broken. He did a fitness test to the point where Marini Hiroti was kidding up and warming up, and we thought he was coming in. And when I saw Katoa's name, I thought, you beauty, because Hiroti, as good as he is a step down and is going to be targeted all night. Sione Katoa, the first kick that went up, he couldn't move. He threw his hands out, lost the ball. Penrith score. It's game over from there. 2 things you cannot do to Penrith is give them easy tries early and let them lead early because they cannot be run down. We needed to leave them 12-0 to be any sort of thing on the game. And the third thing you can't do is buy that Jerome Luai left foot step. Second try, he just cuts straight through Britton Nico, who might as well not play the other night, and Nico Hines, rather, off that left foot. And it's like, okay, I know this as a bloke who just watched a bit of footy, likes to talk a bit of crap. People that are paid have gone down and just said, look, we've just done all the things that we can't do. The only saving grace is, it's going to sound funny, is that it wasn't 30-20. They didn't lead 30-0 and we scored 20 points and gone, we just started bad. Cronulla were cod-walloped and we were embarrassed and we were humbled. I'm hoping it's one of those nights because nothing went right at all. I'm hoping we've used all our bad luck up. But to win a premiership, you have to go through Penrith, and any talk of a premiership in the Shire right now needs to be put aside and left in the way too early basket.
Yeah, totally agree. But like I said to you, I think, you're right. It was a very bad night. You might have used all your bad luck, but I do think it's the reality check they needed because, as I said, that Roosters game papered over some cracks. And you're right, a 30-20 loss. It may actually have been worse for the club moving forward than this 42-0 walloping because at least Craig Fitzgibbon can now sit down and go, that wasn't good enough. Like, it wasn't just your 20 minutes at the start we didn't turn up. Like, for 80 minutes, we were dominated by a team that we're trying to do the same thing as, because you're right, Cronulla their back five's been sensational this year. I certainly felt it when you played us on that really wet day out at wherever it was in the Shire. Kennedy, Katoa, Mulatalo, Rami, and Iro have all averaged over 150 metres a game this year, I think it is. And I wrote as much on site the other week. They are building the blocks off their back five. They're doing it very well, but Penrith have been doing it a lot better and better than anyone for 4 years. Good luck catching them.